All right, Lady Ada, what is this?
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Show and Tell. It's me, Lady Ada, with me, Mr. Lady Ada. We're broadcasting live from downtown Manhattan, the Adafruit factory that's all behind us. You can see the machinery and the kitting tables and the fabbing tables and all the stuff that we do here to make electronics.
That's where we make stuff.
It's a party every day. Right now, it's a little quiet because everyone's home, but that's why when it's quiet, we do Show and Tell, which is when we check in with folks from around the Makerverse. Which is kind of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's the Maker Cinematic Universe. To see what they're up to. We have some Adafruit folks. We have some people from the community coming by. I see some blinkies already. I'm excited. We're going to be here for about 20 minutes. If you want to join in on Discord, we post the chat. All you need is a video camera. Come on by and show off what you're working on.
JP, what you got going on this week?
I am entering the Makerverse.
Yeah, you're tuning in from Earth 1.
Marvel doesn't have any mime characters, do they?
Do they have any mime characters? You know, there's probably an archive of like
Gambit's DC, right? I don't even know if Gambit's in mime.
Gambit is
DC.
I think so. I don't want to get it wrong.
Pretty mimey.
Okay.
I did a mime gig once.
Yeah.
About it. Yep.
Tell us that you'd actually admit that publicly on like live broadcasting.
It's taken me 20-something years to admit that, but there it was.
Yeah, it's before social media. It's fine.
So, speaking of Marvel, we saw earlier a tweet from Microsoft and Marvel about the Black Panther Wakanda Forever team up they have for makecode.
Yeah.
And Lamore said, "Hey, would you check this out and maybe do something with this?" They've got some a cool tutorial you can follow and some assets that they've made for the game. And so I made my own game using their assets and in makecode, and I'm running it here on a pygamer. And I was really excited because it's been a while since I dipped into makecode Arcade. They got a bunch of cool new stuff, such as check out the parallax multi-plane background, mid-ground, foreground stuff going on there. It's very easy to set up. The art tools have had a bunch of improvements to them. Let me try to not get killed here and shoot some shots. They've also got sprite scaling. So these, I died. These sprites are actually originally drawn smaller, but they've been sort of pixel double scaled up, which is really cool.
That's cool.
So a lot of really neat features. And so I'm going to develop this a little further and add some hardware to it. Lamore had the idea of maybe adding some neopixel strips because we can plug them in down here on these JST connectors, maybe make like costume gauntlets that light up while you're playing the game, so you're very immersed. And that's
if you can shoot, maybe you can see the LEDs shoot on your.
It's amazing to make a video game like this for hardware with just blocks.
It's amazing. It really is. I mean, I don't have a share screen up of what it looks like, but it's, I don't know, a couple dozen little graphical blocks plugged together. It's not much. It's all basically the logic of how would I do this? There's no syntax to remember, which is really a super cool thing about makecode and makecode Arcade in particular, because you've got a simulator right in the web browser, so you don't even have to put it on your hardware. You can do it right in there.
Yeah.
But once you get on hardware, actually it runs a little smoother. If you look at this this parallax stuff,
we're making a joke. It's like they ported Mode 7 from the SNES, which I remember when I played Final Fantasy VI. And they had that part where you like are moving through this like castle and the background moves separately than the foreground. And I was just like, oh my God, it was just, it was amazing.
Incredible. So that's what we're going to, I'll be looking at this tomorrow on my show, and I'll put together a guide once it's all done and people will be able to make their own. And you can run it on a bunch of different hardware too. There's a bunch of different hardware that you can plug into makecode Arcade and then take it handheld. So this happens to be my favorite Pygame.
Thank you so much, JP.
Sure thing.
All right, Jeff, what you got going on this week?
I have got pixels today. So, like 11 months ago, Lamore teased this board called Scorpio, and I have one of the prototypes. Pardon me here. Let's see, where is it? It's here somewhere. I'm embedded.
It's so small.
Camera. It's there. It's a feather, but coming out the end are 8 different connections for neopixels. And so I've been getting the CircuitPython code running. And so here we've got 8 LED animation comets. Boy, I shouldn't have moved that camera. 8 LED animation comets running at about 40 frames per second.
Wow.
So one of the things that's cool about this is we've kind of upped our game in how it sends the data out. It's sending the data for all of the strips simultaneously, and it's sending it in the background. So you send the command to refresh the display, and then it immediately returns to your CircuitPython code.
Yes, it's thanks to the DMA PIO stuff that you added.
Yeah, and then you're calculating the next frame of your animation while it's actually going out to the neopixels, and it's seamless, and there's no tearing, and it works really great. So we've got the library. It's going to appear in the bundle tomorrow, and you could actually use it on any RP2040 as long as the pin numbers, like the GP numbers, are sequential. So like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 16 to 23, whatever it is. They just have to be sequential. So you could put this on a good old actual Raspberry Pi Pico. You could maybe put it on a Feather. I'm not sure.
We do. They are. I did make it so the Feather has. That's why the GPIO numbers don't match the D numbers. They are GPIO. It's like whatever they are. They're 8 in a row because I expected that we might do projects like this. So yeah, maybe when we show off this library, you'll show like you can actually just plug the NeoPixelate friend directly next to the Feather on a breadboard, and it should just work.
Yeah, so it's really cool. One of the things the Scorpio has is the level shifter, which just makes it more robust and, according to all the data sheets. But I think we've all experienced that NeoPixels work on mostly any GPIO pin.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I've been up to. The code is out there, and coming up, I hear the product might even come out.
Yes.
It's still Scorpio season.
Yeah, it's still Scorpio season.
It's Scorpio season for like another couple weeks.
And for the folks out there, there's been a bit of a drought for not only chips, but like new platforms where you can do interactive light installations.
Or like level shifters. Like you can't get those.
Yeah. So we expect a lot of folks to take this to all sorts of places and do all sorts of things that we didn't even expect. So it's going to be really neat.
All right, and there's a floppy disk here for no reason.
For size. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're always in retro stuff. There's just floppies falling out of everywhere.
There he is. Oh, and I'll just grab this keyboard that we talked about last week. Whoops. It is here in the background today. So, no, this is the wrong keyboard. This is the Coleco Atom keyboard. I'm a total liar. I still don't have that keyboard. I will come back around, and if we've got time. But
yeah. I want to see that help
Atom
button.
With wildcard key.
That's cool.
The wildcard key is cool, but it's not as cool as help.
It's not as cool as help. So yeah, I'll come back, and if you got a little time at the end, come back to me, and I'll show that other keyboard.
We might do that.
Cool.
All right, next up, let's go to Liz, and then after Liz, we're going to go to Dan W. Okay. All right, Liz, what you got going on this week?
Hello. So this is a wreath that I normally have on outside my apartment door. It's a print that's on Thingiverse. It's pretty popular. And what's cool is you can like put different things on it.
Oh, neat.
It's so adorable. It's like mega Lego.
Yeah. In the spring, I do the flowers and stuff. And then when it gets to winter, I put the little hollies on. But in the fall, I feel kind of like weird. I don't want to put like winter Christmas stuff up too early because I don't like to do that before December. So last night, I modeled up little maple leaves. So I printed 2 so far, and I'm gonna make this now a fall leaf wreath for fall now. So, and I'll put the model up if folks want to print it because a lot of people have printed this thing. But a little fall 3D printing project.
I really like that wreath. That is a nice design. The 3D print looks great too.
Does a mini fig live there? Because the Lego figure.
A really big Lego figure. Yeah.
Make my neighbors think I'm even weirder than I am.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Liz.
All right. Thank you.
And just a programming note: Liz will be hosting Show and Tell next week. Thank you in advance, Liz.
Of course, no problem.
Maybe we'll see you around. All right. Next,
to Dan
W.
and assistant.
Hello.
I think Dan.
Can you hear me okay?
And she's the engineer.
Yes.
What you got going on, Dan?
So we've been playing Trombone Champ recently, and we saw the Trombone Champ controller.
Yeah, Liz did that project.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to use something with like a time of flight distance sensor instead of the potentiometer. And so I went down to the dollar store and got one of these like little foam dart guns and just gutted it, put in a QT RP2040 and one of the time of flight sensors. And then there's a 2-way switch, so you can or a three-way switch rather, so you can either turn it off or switch between like closer is higher or farther is higher, depending on how you want to do it. But yeah, and
oh yeah, that's some theremin action.
And it goes very fast, and with the distance sensor, you don't have to worry about it like wearing down if you go crazy with it.
Oh.
And I made another version with what was this? The Trinket M0, just to, you know, it's a little bit pared down because there's a bit of a space issue.
Yeah, like those are old chips. They barely can. You know, you can get them to work, but they're now getting close to 5-7 years old.
Yep, but it still works and fit perfectly in the little thing. So we've been
all right. Good work.
Pretty crazy.
And
Thank
then
you.
What are you using Python, or what are you coding it in?
Oh, that's all Circuit Python.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right. I'm going to add the creator of the guide to this.
Liz, what do you think?
All right, Liz.
That's awesome.
10 out of 10.
So responsive.
All right. Outstanding.
Cool. All right. Good work. All right. Thanks, Dan. And thank you, Dan's assistant.
All right. Next up, we're going to go to Mouse, and then we're going to go to BCG. Mouse, right, what you got going on this week?
Blinking.
Hello.
Ooh, look at those nudes.
Hello. Yeah, so you got to get Liz back again because she, of course, has showed me how to make these glowing nude things.
It looks so good.
Except her Learn guide, the nudes that you can't actually pass the signal through them. It just shows you what the voltage is.
Yeah.
And I thought, I just want the signal to go through them. And you know, they said it couldn't be done. They said it was crazy, but
they said you're a madman.
They said, but
madness.
Actually, this nude here is passing an audio signal.
Ooh,
really?
But
how's it doing that?
Well, it's doing it in a very obvious way that you just hook the nude up to the tips of the two plugs, and there's inside the jacker is a current limiting resistor from the tip to ground. But if you know about diodes, you might suspect that it does something to the signal on the way through.
Yeah.
So I can demonstrate what it actually does to the sound when you put it through a nude. Whoops, hang on, we got an emergency alert.
Wait, what? I can't tell if that's your synth or the actual Amber Alert.
Breaking the laws of physics.
Amber Alert.
Because like sometimes when you have like a synth going, it sounds like that. You're like, that's actually my synth. You know?
Yeah.
I could. Okay. So, where were we? Yes. So I can show you what it sounds like. So I've got the same audio signal going through two patch cables here. One of them is the nude.
Yeah.
And I'll play the straight signal first through the regular cable. And it sounds like this.
This might have to update the guide.
Okay, if you can hear it, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll just change, got the mixer here. Okay, and it sounds.
Yeah.
So that's what it does when you put the.
You've got a voltage drop, but.
There's a voltage drop, and it's rectifying the bottom half of the wave off and stuff like that.
Well, so, you could have a. I think you should there's ways that you could make this work. It would just be kind of funky. You'd have to have another wire. It'd have to be hidden. But I think it actually does do something. You could sell it for $500 on eBay now. This is
you'll be on reverb.com next week. So I mean it adds character. We don't call it distortion when you're actually making a sound. It's just character. So
it's a compressor of sorts.
Yeah. It sounds more like my wave folder.
Well, it looks really cool. That's what counts.
Good work, Mouse. And Liz, if you want to update the guide for this fun hack, maybe that'd be a cool one to add, so folks can do that. Looks like a scene out of an anime when they're lit up like that. It's
this is cool.
All right, thanks so much, Mouse.
Thank you, Mouse.
Thanks.
All right, next up we're gonna go to BCG. Hello, BCG. What you got going on?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, so I'm working on a keyboard project. I got a Kinesis Advantage 2 keyboard, and actually I saw you guys' the KB2040, the Pro Micro one, and that was actually my favorite little board. So I was like, oh, I got to start using this. But and so I had a existing controller, and I'm gonna try and see if I can bring my other camera up.
try screen sharing?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I see it pop up here, I'll add it.
If you're on a Mac, don't forget you might have to give permissions.
Yeah,
you got it. Okay.
All right.
All right.
So
yay.
Oh, nice.
I had an existing like controller for this that was based on Teensy, but so I made I cobbled together an adapter here to break it out onto my breadboard, and then I have 2 port expanders, and then since that KB2040 has a stemma adapter, I put the stemma board on here, and this is actually that was my favorite thing about it, because now I can just switch out whatever controller I want, right? So here, the macro pad had that same connector, so I got it mostly. Some of the rows still don't work, but I think it's a hardware bug, so I'm going to make a better breakout for this.
Oh, you're actually like shifting through all the key matrix manually.
Yep.
Wow.
I ported the TMK firmware to TinyGo, so it's mostly there.
Awesome.
But it doesn't have USB yet. I'm still working on the matrix part of it, and I'm going to make a better controller. But and then my favorite part of it is this keyboard. This is the I don't know if you can see it on the monitor there, but they have this.
It's like RJ11 or something.
Yeah, and there's 4 wires in there, so I'm just going to hook that up to the I2C on the controller, and then I can hang off whatever sensors I want.
Yeah.
So so that's what I'm working on.
That's cool. Yeah, I remember people used to have those dippy keyboards. Those aren't as popular these days. Split keyboards are much more popular, so this is kind of a call back to the 90s style.
Yep. And so the thing is, I've really boxed myself into a corner because none of this will fit inside. So I'm going to have to finally learn how to make a PCB, which
that's a great reason to. Well, triplexing, and there's KiCad tutorials. I mean, I think it's a good excuse to learn how to do a circuit board. A lot of people learn their first circuit boards on a keyboard project. So you're amongst friends.
So I'll give it a shot.
All right. Well, good luck. And when you do finish that PCB, come on by and show it off. We'd like to see the update.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Thanks so much. We're going to go back to Jeff. Speaking of keyboards, let's see if we have that keyboard with the
help.
What's funny?
Wait, wow.
Do you want to put it on your overhead, or do you want to hold it up closer?
Yeah, sure. I'll stick it down on the overhead because I'm going to pop
it's hard to see the button.
Otherwise. Yeah, it's this round button.
It just says help.
It just says help, and it's at a jaunty angle.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, and it's not centered either.
No, it's just kind of random. It's above 8 and 9, sort of.
But this is the new keyboard you get with your Twitter Blue subscription.
I know.
It looks like they had a provision for 4 more buttons.
I know. I was about to say, like, it looks like they had more, but they didn't get to it.
Yeah, that's an in-app purchase. You get other help buttons.
They couldn't come up with anything that was as good as help, so it's like, no, we'll do help.
I guess Staples, that when they have the easy key, they missed out. They could have had an easy button on keyboards. They could have released a keyboard or something.
Yeah, they could have had their own keyboard. So
what a weird, what meeting did they have where they're like, you know what, Bob? Let's go for it. Let's make a keyboard with one big help button, but let's not have it lined up exactly. Let's just have it like 30 degrees.
Yeah, and there you can see the matrix, just like the keyboard we were just looking at.
So this is a standard matrix keyboard inside, but they've got a weird scanning thing with 2 chips. And I'd hope to just pop the ribbon cable off and bypass that, but I can't get it out.
I want it all through hole.
Can't get a compatible connector, so I have to go through this, and which means scanning in a weird way. So that'll be fun. That'll be the next
that's
keyboard
a weird.
A person in the chat.
A
person in the chat said, "Is that a trackball?" No, that's just a round button. That's a round button that says "help."
Help. I don't know if we mentioned this before.
That's all it does. And I guess the other thing we don't know, and maybe we could try to find like the manual or something, is like what happened when you press the help button.
I don't know.
Someone show up.
Well, when you get this working on your computer, maybe have it, run a special command. I don't know what it would do.
Yeah, I mean, F1 is kind of the help button now in a lot of programs.
Well, you could have it pop up the Party Parrot GIF. That's what
that would be very helpful, honestly.
It could.
Yeah.
Or you could just play cat GIFs. You'd be like, look, I can't take any more.
Play the Beatles. It could play any. It could do a shuffle and play any song with called help or with the help as a lyric.
Yeah, so this is the Atari XE system keyboard, and there's my serial number if you want to verify it.
I look at like what's with the 8.2 was like just big.
Yeah,
I don't know
like what's going on here? It's just like, help! Oh boy!
All right.
All right. Well,
Well,
that's
thanks
all
for
I
bringing
got.
this keyboard back.
This keyboard is the funniest keyboard.
Oh, it
It's, yeah,
feels so
definitely-
bad though. It's just so mushy.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's the worst one yet.
Oh, well,
But
thanks for
it's a good. They're all good keyboards.
You know what?
They're all
Thanks
good
for
keyboards, Lamar.
thanks for giving it a little bit of attention because I'm sure it was just always made fun of at the keyboard playground with this big help button on its head. I'm sure the other keyboards just smacked it around.
Smack
Yeah.
press the button.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Jeff.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right. Ciao. Good night.
All right, that's our show and tell for the week this week. Thank you so much, everybody, for making this the best half an hour of the week for us every single week. Next week, Liz will be hosting.
We'll be back. We'll be hosting again.
Yeah, we'll be hosting. We'll see.
We're gonna have Liz and other folks help out. We did 6 weeks. Now we have to do 6
We
weeks.
got lots of folks that host the show and tell more. So
That's
come by
true.
every single week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Show and share your projects, retro stuff, and more. And
Helps.
dust off that old keyboard and I would do something new. All right, we'll see everybody on Ask Engineer in a couple minutes.